Hello and welcome to another edition of Ask the ASF Roster. I believe this is episode number 3 of a possible 10 million. But this has been especially entitled the TJ Special because he, on the forum, has pretty much asked every character on the roster a question. So it's basically going to be all him. So he must be enjoying this video already. Just kidding. Well, you never know. Anyway, let's kick off with the what I'm going to do is, for part 1 will be the Raw questions, and then part 2 will be the Smashdown questions. So for each individual rosters there. So that's how things are going to fly. So let's take a look at question number 1. Seems like it's going to be Aki to kick things off because we're doing it in alphabetical order. So first, the Raw roster, we kick off with a question for Aki. He asks, do you feel like you have improved a lot ever since you beat Eggman at Armageddon? His answer is, I'm doing my best to improve every day, but yeah, I was for sure pushed to the limit when I faced him. Makes me feel like I can do a lot more now. And yep, well, you never know, the ASIF could be his moment of shining if you people out there are voting for him. I'm not saying vote Aki, but you never know. I mean, it's your choice, not mine, so I'm not going to tell you what to vote. But hey, you never know. Could be his moment, if you, the fans, are going to vote for him. Okay, question number 2. I'm not going to number them because I'm just going to lose count, I know it. But the next question is for the returning Amy Rose, and he says, welcome back, how do you feel? And her reply is, feels great, but I got a feeling it's going to be even better after I exact payback onto Cal and Cream. Girls, you're going down. Yep, and she will get her revenge, as we know, at the ASIF, against at least Cal. So we'll see how that fares out. What will she be returning in? I'll do a little pay-per-view promo there. I'm probably going to be sneaking a few of those in as we go, seeing as it's right around the corner. Next question is for Chaos. What has caused you to go after Shadow? He doesn't really give an answer. I was expecting that. There are going to be some characters on this roster that can't say a word, so he's one of them. Or very little words at that. I think Link will be another one. He says actions speak louder than words, and he's usually right. Next up is a question for Cream. Why did you need Takao to help kidnap Amy? Her reply is, I did not need Takao's help. She just wanted to show Amy how much more dominant she was, and how we are the most dominant force in the whole female division today. Well, I guess Cream can be certainly worthy of that title, seeing as she has the women's championship. But that might not be the case after ASIF, as she takes on Mindy, of course, who's been rewarded for bringing Amy back, winning that fantastic ladder match we had. We'll see how that flies. Next up, it's Knuckles. Was your heart racing as you cashed in Money in the Bank? His reply was, you bet it was. Having never done anything like that before, I was wondering how on earth it was going to play off. But luckily, everything went well, and still is, and I'm still happy that I'm your world champion. I just hope you are as well. He's proving to be controversial. Some say he doesn't deserve it, some say he does. He won it through Money in the Bank, but I definitely think he deserves it right now from the stuff he's been pulling off. A lot of miracles being performed by Mr. Money, the former Mr. Money in the Bank, when it comes to his championship. Next up is Luigi. What made you decide to align with Eggman? His reply is, Eggman picked me, if you remember. So yeah, that's actually kind of true. Because he was ticked off at Armageddon after the Metal Sonic match, so yeah, he wanted to manage him as well. Speaking of managing, Mandy's next. What is your favourite ASF moment? She replies with, simple, That will come at ASIF after I cash in Money in the Bank due to fools known as ASF fans not voting me into the match itself. Well then, it's time to deny her then of that opportunity by voting for her. I certainly would be. So I guess Eggman has got the bargaining chip, but she's got less chance of winning in the main event, I believe, than obviously cashing in. Well, she'll be able to cash in afterwards because she'll be knackered, or at least in my estimation, because she cannot compete with the main eventers. Let's put her to the test. I say vote her in. I'm telling you to vote for her on that one. Anyway, next up is Mario. Was winning the ASF title your biggest moment in ASF? Well, winning the title is always a big deal, but for me it was just another walk in the park, but I still was happy to hold it nonetheless. Fair enough. Yep, Mario's been there quite a few times, but he's still happy that he got another shot at it, as I think a lot of people would be. Next up is a question for Metal Knuckles. Are you happy now that your alliance with Sonic is over? His answer is one word, which is that. Affirmative. Seems happy for him. Metal Sonic is up next. Will you reveal your cash-in date at one time, or is it when the time comes? He replies with, I have said I will reveal my cash-in date before the day I do, as I'm counting down the days, because I know when I do get one last shot, it's all I need. And I believe him. I think he's got Knuckles' number. If Knuckles stays the champion, we've got a good odd that Metal Sonic is going to be when he cashes in, which I don't know when's going to be. Might be soon, might be a bit later, but when he does, we can expect a new world champ, just like that. Then we got a question for Mindy now. Happy Amy's back on Raw? And her answer is, of course I am. It's what I've been fighting for this whole time, and now Connor has rewarded me with a shot at the women's title. Things just don't get any better than this. I'll have to agree with her. But I don't want a shot at the women's title. But I'm glad she is. Next up, Shadow. How does it feel being the arguably most popular superstar on ASF? He answers with, no surprise, and I will continue to lift the bar higher and higher, because for me there are no limits. And yes, he's definitely going to raise the bar ASIF when he defends the Intercontinental title against Chaos. That should be that should be a show stealer. I think that one's going to be. Next up we got Sonic. What made you think wearing the anti-Shadow stuff at Armageddon would actually work? His rather full of himself reply, as always, is, well, he said he would kill me, so I'm thinking he's going to bring a gun along or something, so if he does, I'm safe, unless he shoots you in the head. And even after all the hell he put me into, I'm still here, so his plan backfired. He will never beat the first and only undisputed champion of Raw ever. Wow. Sonic just gets more cocky with the more questions people ask him. We'll have to see if there's a breaking point. Next up is Takal aligning with Cream. 3 words. Why, Takal? Why? She does answer with, we are both the best at what we do, so why face each other? All the more better to team up and wipe out the rest of the competition, and that's what we are doing. Don't worry about Amy. We got her once, and we can get her again. That's what I'm afraid of. See, she might be back, but they have a chance of getting her once again, because they did it before. Like you said, they can do it again. But we'll have to see what the plan is on when Amy makes her return. I think that's it for the Raw roster now, so I think we'll move on to part 2, which will be for the Smashdown side of things. We'll be kicking off with a question for Astroth, of course, going through A to Z, so I'll see you then.